You're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Today's show is presented by Manscaped. It's smooth sack summertime with Manscaped, and if you want a smooth sack, head over to Manscaped. 20% off plus free shipping with promo code Chiefs at manscaped.com. All right, let's get you caught up on the latest Chiefs training camp news and rumors. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's show. Lots of stuff to get into, so buckle up and stick with us here as training camp continues to progress along. The first preseason game is this Saturday, so we are going to have a lot of ground to cover throughout the week to get you ready for Chiefs versus Bears. All right, storyline number one is JuJu Smith-Schuster starting to separate himself as the number one receiver in Kansas City. I think probably a little bit. JuJu has been standing out at camp according to multiple reports. He looks the part. Seems like every practice that goes by, he's making some sort of acrobatic catch. You can tell he and Patrick Mahomes got some work in the offseason, and they've started to build that camaraderie. And as we've talked about quite a bit here on the Chiefs Report, he is probably the most capable receiver in this room right now that can be that number one guy after losing Tyreek Hill via trade this offseason. So I think he is wide receiver one right now. Sky Moore has certainly stood out as well during training camp. I've got him penciled in as number two. MVS, Mecole Hardman, they've both had their moments. Hardman really had a nice weekend during a couple of practices. Wide receiver 3 and 4. I'll continue to say this is interchangeable, very much in flux, but that's probably how I would rank it right now. But I do think all four of these guys are going to have a big role. But if I had to lean one way, I do think JuJu will be the number one wide receiver for this football team. He's done it before. He's played at high levels in the past. He's healthy now. I think he's poised to have a really, really big year in this Chiefs offense. And if he does, he's going to get paid next offseason. Now, who do you guys think is wide receiver one, at least right now? Type 1 for JuJu Smith-Schuster. Type 2 for Sky Moore. Type 3 for Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Type 4 for Mecole Hardman. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with that YouTube ad break, scroll on down and let me know who is wide receiver one for the Kansas City Chiefs. Storyline number two, are the Chiefs feeding Mecole Hardman in different ways, trying to get him more involved in the offense? Well, James Palmer, who was at the Chiefs practice over the weekend, I think he was at Sunday's practice, jotted down a few notes. He talked about JuJu separating himself. Also, he said Mecole Hardman looks good, fresh. They're using him in wildcat, different ways to get the ball in his hands. And I like the strategy of getting him more touches. I think that is something that Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy need to do more this year, is get Mecole Hardman the football more. Get him more touches week in and week out. Doesn't always have to be him running normal wide receiver routes, jet sweeps. I'm not a big wildcat guy, but if there are a couple of situational plays per game where it makes sense to utilize him in that way, I'm fine with that as well. You can just line him up in the backfield next to Patrick Mahomes as a running back and use him in some creative ways via the run or the pass out of the backfield. He's too explosive, too fast to not get him, I'd say, at least 5 touches a game. I think he should be one of those players that you get more involved, especially if, he's got limitations as a route runner. Just get him the ball in different ways. Use him as a gadget guy. There's nothing wrong with that. He's been a good player for this team, but he's just never really taken massive steps, throughout his first 3 years. And if he's just a player that say, you know what, he runs these 3 or 4 routes well, but beyond that, he's kind of limited, that's okay. Recognize that, build on his strengths. What are his strengths? Yards after the catch, pure straight line speed, his, twitchiness with the ball in his hands. He can make people miss. You can find a way to get a player like that the football, and I think that I like the sound of what they're saying, where they're going to get him the ball in space, in different opportunities to get him more involved in the offense, because he's entering a contract year. If he doesn't have a big year this year, his future in Kansas City very much in doubt, as he's set to be a free agent next year. Subscribe to the channel, because we're going to continue to have non-stop Chiefs news, rumors, more videos all season long. The season's here, so game previews, post-game shows, some live watch parties. We'll have that coming your way as well, something to look forward to. So subscribe, turn on your notifications. We will continue to bring you the latest Chiefs news and rumors all season long, because football is back. All right, storyline number 3 here on the Chiefs Report. Trent McDuffie, he looks the part. James Palmer also commented on that. Other reports coming in that he's starting to make more and more plays. He's certainly getting beat some. He's a rookie. The Chiefs have talented receivers. But I think what is clear is that Trent McDuffie has CB1 potential. I'm not saying he's a CB1 right now or that he's even going to be one this year or ever. He's got a long way to go, but he has that upside to be that type of player in this defense. I still think right now the CB unit is very much in flux. Obviously, Rashad Fenton, who is arguably this team's best corner last year, along with Charvarius Ward, he's out on the PUP list. Things are in flux. I mean, the Chiefs just cut DeAndre Baker, so players are definitely stepping up. Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams. Obviously, Snead is healthy, playing well. Najee Johnson has made some plays. So Trent McDuffie, it's good to see him playing well early. And the cornerback unit as a whole, the fact that they cut DeAndre Baker before the first preseason game, that tells me that the corner position is probably in a pretty good spot right now. The Chiefs feel good. We keep hearing these rookies' names too, not just McDuffie, but Williams and Watson making plays out there as well. Najee Johnson's popped off a couple of times. So a lot of competition in that secondary, and DeAndre Baker fell behind, so they went ahead and parted ways. Best of luck to him. But as far as McDuffie, the first-round pick goes, I think he's in a good spot. He's only going to continue to get better and better. Which Chiefs rookie are you most excited for when it comes to the Chiefs? And I think that is one thing as, we get into the preseason here. Rookies get a lot of reps, opportunities for them to show up and show out. So which rookie are you most excited for at this point in time? Shout out to Manscaped for sponsoring today's show. I mentioned it's Smooth Sack Summer with Manscaped right now. Well, if you want a smooth sack, get the Lawnmower 4.0 for 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code Chiefs. Marked down on price. Still an investment, certainly, and I understand that, but I've had mine for well over a year now. Battery lasts a long time. It's waterproof as you can use it in the shower, wireless charging station, and after you clean things up with that proper men's grooming tool, the Lawnmower 4.0, throw on the Boxers 2.0. They launched their newest boxer collection here. Very comfortable, plenty of room for your stuff downstairs to breathe and feel good because it's hot outside. And, sometimes, it can get a little swampy down there. You want to have plenty of breathing room for your two buddies downstairs. So go ahead and get going with Manscaped. Promo code Chiefs at manscaped.com. That'll get you 20% off and free shipping. All right, some more injury updates. Not a ton new on that front, but some stuff to be aware of. Lucas Niang, Rashad Fenton continue to be on the PUP list for Kansas City right now. Jody Fortson has now missed 7 straight practices. Andy Reid initially said it's not considered serious, but 7 practices, that's over a week of missed time with a quad strain, so we'll see how long that carries through. Daurice Fountain dealing with the groin issue. He's kind of day-to-day right now. Taylor Stallworth, the defensive tackle, dealing with the knee injury. I think out of all these, obviously Niang and Fenton, you want to get them back soon. They're starting caliber players, but I really want to see Jody Fortson get back because I think he can be a weapon in this offense, but popped the Achilles last year. Now he's got this quad thing, You're hoping there's not a pattern here that he's not an injury-prone player because I think he can be a big-time weapon, especially in the red zone for this Chiefs offense. So I'm going to continue to monitor that. I would say at this point, since he wasn't back at practice on Monday, his status for preseason game number 1 against the Bears, probably in doubt. I would be surprised if he played this week, but hopefully he can get back and play in 1 or 2 of the remaining preseason games. All right, let's talk about Frank Clark, last storyline here. He continues to stand out. Listen, I don't want to jump the gun here, ironic because Uzi Clark, but look, you keep hearing reports. He's lean, he's quick. Are we going to see a different Frank Clark this year? I hope so. I really, really do. He looks the part at training camp. He's getting off the edge quicker than he has the past couple years. We told you guys about the reporting about him cutting his diet. No more red meat, cut out liquor as well. I think he understands how critical this year is. Because the production's been waning for him. His first year he had 8 sacks, pretty good year, great in the playoffs. Next year fell off a bit to 6 sacks. Last year 4.5. He's been trending in the wrong direction, but he shed some weight. He seems more committed right now, so I hope we see a different Frank Clark. I'm not going to overreact based on a week or 2 of training camp practices, but I'm hopeful. Could we see it? Could we see a different Frank Clark this year? I guess we'll have to wait and see how things progress into the regular season. I'm not going to overreact to camp and preseason. But so far, so good. We know the talent's there. We've seen it in the past. Now it's up to him to produce on Sundays. Are you buying the Frank Clark hype? I'm buying low. I'm not going to buy high. So how about I'll be typing a lowercase y because I'm not ready to fully commit here. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Are you buying the Frank Clark hype? Let us know in the comments. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's Chiefs News and Rumors segment from training camp. Subscribe to the channel as we will continue to bring you the latest updates from St. Joseph. Also, you got to the end of the video, so it's Real One roll call time. Comment Real One down in the comment section below, as if you're a Real One and you love the Chiefs, always comment Real One at the end of our videos.